What's up, fam? This your boy Cut to the Chase TV. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to share this video. I got some news for you Negroes today. Young Dolph killer Cornelius Smith was sentenced to 20 years in prison after he snitched on Gotti and Big Jook. And the moment the news hit the internet, everybody's acting surprised. Everybody's flabbergasted. They can't seem to fathom how Cornelius Smith can be handed a 20-year sentence after he shot down young Dolph in cold blood. I'm not one of those people. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised, because to be honest with you guys, Cornelius Smith did some good ass telling. Did you guys see the way he was acting on the stand? Y'all remember when Straight Draw went to trial and they brung out Cornelius Smith as the star witness? He was telling so good they had to tell that nigga to slow down. They said, hey, Cornelius Smith, we gonna let you tell, but you telling a little too much and you telling a little too fast. I mean, Cornelius Smith was a hell of a witness. He provided cell phone data. He provided text messages. He provided surveillance footage. He gave a motive. He revealed who paid the money. And that's when we learned that Cornelius Smith was only paid $600 for taking out young Dolph. And the moment we heard that, we said, that's why he's telling. Cornelius Smith feels slighted. He like, damn, I put in this work. I took out y'all biggest op, and y'all Negroes gonna give me $600. I gotta try to get a lighter sentence because I can't live with myself. I already feel like a goofy, and now you want me to take a life sentence? Hell no, I'm telling everything. I'm telling on Gotti. I'm telling on Big Jook. I'm telling on Hernandez Govan. I'm telling on Straight Drop. When he told on Straight Drop, it was successful. Straight Drop got life in prison without parole. He tried to tell on Hernandez Govan, but Hernandez Govan had great lawyers, and Hernandez Govan ended up beating the case. So now we here today. Cornelius Smith goes to court. He entered his guilty pleas, and one of the conditions was one charge was dropped, which is the conspiracy, and he's going to agree to a 20-year sentence for second-degree murder of young Dolph, aka Adolph Thornton. Don't believe me? Take a look at this shocking footage of Cornelius Smith in court. It is crazy as hell, y'all. Let's go.
This is State of Tennessee versus Cornelius Smith. This indictment 2204769. Matter that's been pending in this court for some time. I think it also has been the subject of a couple trials for the co-defendants. Mr. Smith will plead guilty to the offense of murder, second degree, a Class A felony as included under count 1 of the indictment. 20 years confinement as a 100% violent offender. He served Tennessee Department of Corrections. Taken into consideration in this plea is Mr. Smith's cooperation in this matter from the time of his arrest until now. Mr. Smith has cooperated fully in the prosecution, first of Justin Johnson, and then another co-defendant. Taken in consideration is his truthful testimony.
Now let's stop it right there. Because if you do the math, Cornelius Smith has entered a guilty plea and he's accepting 20 years in prison. Now, young Dolph been killed for about 4 or 5 years. So Cornelius Smith already knocked out 4 to 5 years of that sentence. He's agreed to 20 years. He's going to get time served. Now, I want to know, all you jailhouse experts, are you street niggas? Y'all know y'all get real smart when y'all calculate niggas' prison sentence. How much time does Cornelius Smith have to do? Is it like 8 more years? Is it 9 more years? Y'all let me know in the comment section. All you jailhouse niggas that can properly calculate a nigga time left in his prison sentence, let me know when we are expected to see Cornelius Smith back on the streets. That's what I want to know, because this is crazy, man. One person get life, straight drop. And I always said this, I said straight drop. You trying to be hard, you trying to come across as gangster, you really gonna die on that sword? You really gonna go down with the ship? You really ain't gonna sell nothing. You could have saved yourself. But see, Cornelius Smith was a smart one. He's like, man, they don't care about us. I got $600, they played me. I'm finna try to get this light sentence, not a life sentence. And that's where he was smart at. He beat everybody to a punch. We knew he was the weak link though, but he was the main person shooting young Dolph. Cornelius Smith was the one holding that damn Draco in that footage. I'm just being real with y'all. But let's continue.
In those cases, Had the matter gone to trial, the state's proof would have been that on the date alleged in the indictment in Memphis and Shelby County, Tennessee, at a local business, Makeda's Cookies, Adolph Thornton Jr., the victim in the case, was there with his brother. Two individuals, Mr. Justin Johnson, Mr. Cornelius Smith, who had been propositioned previously and offered money to kill Mr. Thornton, who's known as the rapper Dolph.
You heard him? He said Cornelius Smith admitted that they was offered money to kill young Dolph. Then Cornelius Smith also testified that Yo Gotti brother Big Jook and CMG offered them $100,000 to take out young Dolph. And he said when he went to collect the money, they gave him $600. That's all he got for killing young Dolph. They never even paid the man. And y'all mad at him for telling? I'm not. He did what he was supposed to do. Hey, we make a deal. You reneged on the deal. So I gotta renege on the deal as well. I gotta look out for me, just like y'all looking out for y'all. Hey.
Drove up in a stolen vehicle. They both got out of the car and they both fired guns, killing Mr. Thornton there on the scene. There's video of the incident. There's also video of Mr. Johnson and Mr. Smith after the incident going to an apartment complex where Mr. Smith had to care for a wound that he received during the shooting. There'd be testimony from several witnesses identifying Mr. Smith as one of the shooters and also describing his actions before and after the shooting.
Now let's stop it right there. Y'all remember when young Dolph first got killed? It was still frames of this tall dude with dreads holding a gun. And everybody said that was young Dolph's brother. And then we seen the footage. Cornelius Smith straight drop. They start shooting young Dolph. They runs away. Young Dolph's brother runs to the car, get the firearm. He starts shooting at them. He actually hit Cornelius Smith in the shoulder. So after they killed young Dolph, Cornelius Smith went to an apartment. He started cleaning his wound. Like he said, he admitted to that. So Cornelius Smith is putting himself at the scene. He put a straight drop at the scene. And he put in Big Jook and Hernandez Govan as the masterminds. The state already solved this case. So when he get this 20-year plea sentence, they pretty much thanking him for his work. He's an informant. But let's continue.
Those events occurred in Memphis and Shelby County, Tennessee. As I said, from his arrest forward, Mr. Smith has taken responsibility for this, admitted his involvement, provided truthful testimony to the state and the prosecution of the co-defendants. We ask Your Honor to accept the plea and counsel stipulate.
Our pleas we stipulate that those were the facts as put forth by the state of the matter gone to trial. Ask that you accept the plea.
Thank you. Gentlemen, Mr. Hackman, you just said plea to count one of the indictment?
I'm sorry, I did say that. It's under count two. I think count one is a conspiracy count. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Right.
There were two indictments, and this is a superseding indictment, and it all got confused.
And so as to the first indictment?
As to the first indictment, that would be null pros upon plea to this indictment. I think there's some paperwork that we have for your clerk that she'll enter a little bit later.
Yeah.
That's part of that paperwork.
Okay.
I didn't want it to
So
announce.
you don't want me to non-prostate?
When that paperwork's ready, I'll get with your clerk and we'll null pros that. I know that
That's
there's
fine.
been some issues in the jail.
There will be a dismissal of the other charges, but not possibly the charges.
All right, come on around, Mr.
Y'all hear that? The conspiracy charge will be dismissed and he will plead guilty to second-degree murder. Now, I think this is a win for Cornelius Smith. You can look at it for how you want. You can feel about it however you want to feel about it. But for him to take out young Dolph in cold blood, premeditate the murder, do it in public, for him to do that and only get a 20-year sentence, I think Cornelius Smith is laying down at night thinking, yes, I got off easy. I still get a chance at my life. I can do this little 12 more years, 11 more years, come home, live a productive life, spend time with my kids, spend time with my grandbabies. So he's looking for life after young Dolph. Young Dolph has been shot down. Many fans are left hurt. But whether we like it or not, Cornelius Smith is going to have a second opportunity at life. It's just the way it is, man. He took that plea deal, worked with the state, told him everything that happened. So I guess they feel like they owed him that. But let's continue.
Stand a second, raise out your right hand, face judge.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a seat, watch straight.
Hey, don't it seem like he's in a great mood though? It seems like he's jubilant. It seems like he's upbeat. It seems like he walking with an extra pep in his step. I don't like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of rub me the wrong way. You got that smirk on your face. Yeah, I'm finna get these 20 years. I already knocked out 5 of them. That's how he said. You already know Granny done talk to him. Hey, baby, go ahead and take that 20 years, baby. Go ahead and tell me everything you know. His girl, his baby mama, hey, I'm gonna wait for you, baby. It ain't nothing but 11 years. I'm gonna keep it right and tight for you. You know, crazy shit like that. So he's happy as hell. He gets a second chance at life.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Cornelius Smith.
Mr. Smith, the deputy is handing you this petition for waiver of trial by jury and acceptance of the guilty plea. Let me know if you recognize it.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go over that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your rights as your attorney went over them with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign that document?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna go over your rights with you also. If there's something you don't understand, please let me know, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Among these rights I just spoke about is your right to have a trial by jury. Everyone has the right to have the jury to decide whether you're guilty or not guilty, instead of allowing me to convict you today without a trial. Do you understand you're giving up your trial rights by pleading guilty today?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have a right to have your attorney cross-examine the witnesses against you in front of that jury, with you in the courtroom, to make sure everyone is telling the truth. Do you understand you're giving up that right by pleading guilty today?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have a right to call your own witnesses. The state has to prove this case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You don't have to prove that you're innocent. However, if you want to call witnesses, I would compel those witnesses to come to court to testify for you. Do you understand you're giving up that right by pleading guilty today?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have the right to testify and tell your story to a jury. If you decided you didn't want to testify, I would not allow anyone to call you as a witness, and I would tell the jury they can't hold that against you because you have a right not to testify against yourself.
So she basically reading him his rights, making sure he understands that when you plead to this, you're taking away all your rights. You're giving up your right to a free trial. You're giving up your right to testify. You're giving up your right to tell your story. You're giving up your right to call your witness. So she's bringing it down. She's making sure you understand what you're doing. Cornelius Smith, like, y'all understand? I'll take that 20 year. Now, we all know Cornelius Smith was in on the Young Dolph hit, but he also testified against this guy named Hernandez Govan. Hernandez Govan was tried for the Young Dolph murder. Cornelius Smith was a star witness against him. He provided text messages. He provided cell phone data. And it still wasn't enough to convict Hernandez Govan because he was found not guilty. And ever since Hernandez Govan was found not guilty, he been doing all these podcasts. He done turned into a whole blogger. And every time he opens his mouth, he ends up snitching on Yo Gotti. Because Hernandez Govan been talking, and he been telling the real reason why Young Dolph was killed. And he said it's because of Yo Gotti. Don't believe me? Take a listen to this.
So yeah, I can speak on it, and he did and gone. So yeah, he knew what had just happened to Yo Gotti. So there is no way that I would have been riding around here like that, and I knew what just happened to Yo Gotti, and the Yo Gotti that everybody know. He probably going on his lick back, because a lot of people don't know what happened. Gotti was in town for a family function, family event, and he was in his Rolls Royce truck, and Infinity pulled up on the side of him, and they let out about 60 rounds into his Rolls Royce truck, but he was bulletproof, and you know I got him moved. He ain't gonna do no social media, or he ain't report the crime, and so it kind of went under the radar. But they knew about it with the detectives and stuff. They knew because it's in our discovery. Yeah, so they had just happened about it like maybe a month or so prior.
You hear what Hernandez Govan said? He said, I blame Young Dolph death on Young Dolph. He knew what happened to Yo Gotti. Hernandez Govan is alleging that Yo Gotti was sitting in his Rolls Royce and somebody from Paper Route Entertainment or Paper Route Empire pulled up alongside Yo Gotti, fired 60 rounds into the Rolls Royce, but it was bulletproof. And then he said Young Dolph came to Memphis a month later, and that when he was gunned down. So Hernandez Govan like, Young Dolph, if your people sent to hit at Yo Gotti, why the hell would you even come back to Memphis? You know he gonna want his lip back. So I feel Hernandez Govan on that. That is how the street rules apply. That's how the streets work themselves out. I'm just being honest. And then Hernandez Govan also did another interview, and he said Young Dolph life would have been spared if he squashed the beef with Yo Gotti. He said Yo Gotti was willing to squash it. He said Young Dolph was like, hell no, I don't want to squash the beef. And that's why he did. Don't believe me? Take a listen to this.
It was a situation where somebody reached out to Dolph. He ain't no OG or no shit like that. Curtis Givens, it's a nigga from Memphis, Tennessee. He owned a club or whatever. He got a few establishments in the city. But he ain't no OG or nothing in the street. You know, he got some respect in the entertainment, nightlife or whatever. But he reached out to Dolph on the advisement of Penny Hardaway. And Penny wanted to see the shit put to bed because Penny fuck with Gotti and Dolph. And Penny wanted it done for the city. So when Curtis Givens reached out to Gotti, Gotti was with it. You know, Gotti told Whoop, that's what we call Curtis Givens, told Whoop, yeah, man, you put it together, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to it.
Yeah.
When Curtis Givens called Dolph, Dolph went off. You know, and it wasn't nothing peaceful about it.
So let's stop it right there. He is saying that a guy named Curtis Givens got Yo Gotti on the phone, was like, hey man, you need to squash the beef with Young Dolph. You need to squash the beef with PRE. Then Yo Gotti was like, all right, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. Let's do it. He said they made the call to Young Dolph, and Young Dolph went the hell off. Young Dolph was like, I ain't squashing the beef. It's forever up. And that's why Hernandez Govan is saying that's the reason Young Dolph was killed. He refused to squash the beef with Yo Gotti. Let's continue.
How he felt about the proposition. So this is another situation where we already established the fact that if he wasn't in that car that day, he'll probably still be alive. If he would have accepted the invitation to get on the phone with Gotti, with a mediator on the phone, like Penny Hardaway or Curtis Givens, he could still potentially be alive right to this day.
Bingo. You heard what he said? If Young Dolph wasn't in that car, if he was more low-key when he came to Memphis, it's safe to say he'll still be alive. And also, if he was willing to squash the beef with Yo Gotti, he'll still be alive because they will have no reason to kill him. That is very powerful, and that's the guy who got tried for the Young Dolph murder. So what he say does hold weight. I think Hernandez Govan knows exactly what's going on. I think he knows exactly what happened. And I think the more he talks, the more he gets comfortable on this internet, the more lies get exposed. So we gonna want him to keep talking. Please, Hernandez Govan, don't be quiet. Keep doing your content. Keep talking, because I'm finding out a lot every time you open your mouth. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts about Cornelius Smith, Young Dolph killer, being sentenced to 20 years. I want to know how you guys feel about it. Do you think it's a light sentence, or you think it was the right sentence? Comment, share this video. I love you guys. Peace.